This just into the NBC 25 newsroom. All charges have been dropped against former Thetford Township Police Chief Robert Kenney. Judge Vicky Behia Haley dropped the charges at the end of today's preliminary hearing, saying there wasn't enough evidence to go forward. Kenney was charged with 2 counts of embezzlement after prosecutors say he sold surplus military gear given to the township and then pocketed the cash for himself.
It's going to be less work to be done out in the road. That's what's going to happen. I have to reduce the number of roads that we're going to go into improve.
The state budget is moving forward without, though, a road funding plan, which could put projects to fix the roads behind schedule, even though this would avoid a government shutdown. Getting more money for the roads, though, this was one of the new governor's biggest agenda items. Political reporter Mackenzie Frost is live in Lansing, where she caught up with Governor Whitmer today.
For months, Governor Whitmer has said she would not sign a budget deal that did not include a long-term road funding plan. Now she's walking those statements back, saying it's all for the greater good of the state. Monday morning, ushering in a new leaf for the state budget.
It became clear that it was time for us to focus on getting this budget done.
For weeks, Republican Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey and House Speaker Lee Chatfield, as well as the governor, talked about the budget. Whitmer's plan, using her 45-cent gas tax increase to generate $2 billion for road repairs. That didn't happen. Now Chatfield says the budget needs to be done on time.
Rather than just playing politics and putting it on her desk, we decided to work with her on roads. But because we're at an impasse, we need to get this budget done by September 30th, and we're going to work in a cooperative manner to get that done.
After an event in Grand Rapids, Whitmer not holding her frustrations back.
It's not fun to be the adult in the room sometimes, but the fact of the matter is we've got important work to do in keeping the state of Michigan open and running, and so I'm going to focus on getting that done.
The budget can't really get done without taking a look at roads in some way. Meantime, Chatfield says there will be more money headed to infrastructure.
She also knows that we have a really good budget that we're ready to put on her desk, and with record funding for schools, record funding for roads. So we need to continue having the conversation about roads, and I look forward to working with her in the coming months to do that.
When asked what she says to people who say she caved on her road funding proposal,
A shutdown would be catastrophic for a lot of people that are counting on us to get this done, and I'm not willing to play games with people's lives.
some of the budget bills are expected to be discussed this Thursday. Meantime, House Democratic leader Christine Gregg is calling on the governor to launch a new task force specifically designed to talk about infrastructure improvements. I'll put more details about that plan on our website. In Lansing, Mackenzie Frost, back to you.
So when it comes to road funding, this does leave a lot of uncertainty on what will or won't happen in Lansing. The Genesee County Road Commission, though, they tell us they aren't going to count right now on getting any extra money from this budget. But they say they really do need that extra cash. Veronica Meadows is live in Flint to explain why road crews now are concerned they could end up behind schedule.
Well, Stephanie, take a look at this road right behind me. This road right here completely speaks for itself when you think about just how torn up some of the Michigan roads are. This is near Clio and Myrtle. And get this, if the Genesee County Road Commission doesn't get this money from Lansing, this could take a lot longer to fix for them. So the Genesee County Road Commission right now does rely on funding from the state of Michigan. Another expense the Road Commission has to account for is the rising cost of materials. For example, the director says asphalt prices are increasing by at least $10 a ton, and 1 mile of road takes 2,000 tons to get. So right there, crews are looking at an extra 20 grand in asphalt costs. The director worries if they don't get the money, it will also eventually put them behind schedule.
Certainly local roads, and especially subdivision roads, there's going to need to be some additional funding for those infrastructures. Otherwise, we will definitely going to get behind, and someday it might come to reverting all these hard surface roads back to gravel.
Later tonight, exactly how much money the Genesee County Road Commission says they need versus where they are right now. Also, drivers weigh in. Live in Flint, Veronica Meadows, NBC 25 News.
Well, here's a live look right now at Warwick Hills Golf and Country Club in Grand Blanc Township, where they are hosting the Ally Challenge for the second year in a row this week. We will get to Mike Woolfolk, who is out there live, coming up in just a little bit. But for now, we're going to get a look at the forecast with Elise Dolinar.
Yes, unfortunately, not much sunshine for everyone who is down there. We've been holding on a little bit of extra cloud cover, but at least we have been staying on the dry side. We could see an isolated shower popping up this evening, but mainly we are going to be staying dry. That will change a little bit, though, as we head into the overnight. We will start to see a few more isolated showers pop up, and it's going to be a much different story as we head into your Tuesday. Right now, mainly holding on to mostly cloudy skies. You can see a few lower 70s, but mainly temperatures are in the 60s, so a little bit of a cooler afternoon out there. You can see dew points still lower. We've got some drier air in place, but these will be going up thanks to a warm front. That's also going to give us a better chance for some showers, even some thunderstorms as we head into your Tuesday. So any evening plans looking good, just holding onto that cloud cover, mainly staying on the dry side. You can see temperatures generally in the 60s. As we head into the overnight, temperatures will be in the upper 50s as well as some lower 60s. And again, we will start to see a chance for a few isolated showers, but that activity is going to pick up for your Tuesday. So we'll get to what you can expect and the timeline coming up in just a few minutes.
A 34-year-old man is facing several felony charges after this crash that cut a car in half. The Genesee County Sheriff says the Clio man who was driving that minivan yesterday afternoon, that's when he crossed over all the lanes of traffic, hitting two other vehicles. The Saab sedan was sliced in half. The driver of that car is in critical condition right now. This all happened at Clio and North Saginaw Streets in Vienna Township. The driver of the minivan, police say, took off, but they were able to track him down. One of the charges against him is driving a vehicle while impaired. The sentencing is being delayed now for a Flint man who's accused of operating a sex trafficking ring with his brother. This delay is so he can find a new lawyer. Court records show 31-year-old Daryl Miller pled no contest to the charges. He's accused of selling 5 women for sex at his home on Mandeville to pay off drug debts. Miller was scheduled to be sentenced today, but due to changing attorneys, this is now scheduled for October 7th. Miller faces up to 30 years in prison. Dozens of turkeys and pheasants were stolen from a farm last week in Tuscola County. Tonight, the sheriff's office is still looking for whoever was behind all of this. They say last Monday, someone walked away with 85 turkeys that are 2 to 3 months old and 30 6-week-old pheasants. It happened on Unionville Road in Akron Township. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist made stops across mid-Michigan today. He says to learn about the challenges that different cities are facing. One visit was to the students at Jesse Roos Elementary School in Saginaw. Gilchrist says he's using these visits to figure out how to improve the quality of life in our cities.
We know that there needs to be improvements in the experience of children in cities, how much affordable and available housing there is, the environmental quality and justice in cities, transit and transportation and mobility, and generational economic opportunity. So we're here talking to stakeholders and elected officials and people doing the work on the ground.
The lieutenant governor also spoke with teachers. He says they expressed a need to get their budget for the school year figured out because that's one area currently still in limbo. We are gearing up for professional golf as the PGA Tour champions making a stop in mid-Michigan now for the 2nd annual Allied Challenge. It's all happening in Grand Blanc Township, and that is where we find NBC 25 anchor Mike Woolfolk. He is live at Warwick Hills Golf and Country Club. So, Mike, how are things shaping up out there?
Hey, Stephanie, good to see you on this other side of the shift, for me anyway. Everybody here is geared up and ready to go. Looking forward to a fantastic week of golf as we present the 2nd annual Allied Challenge here at Warwick Hills. We're coming to you from the par 3 17th tonight. I am unofficially dubbing this the party hole because we are at the Miller Lite Beer Garden platform, which is on one side of the fairway here. And if my partner Mike Horn can show you, as you look at the rest of the hole and the rest of the setup, you've got grandstands and hospitality patio set up around the green. There is an Ally employee pavilion tent set up on the other side of the fairway. So a lot will be happening here on the 17th to make this a great experience for the fans who come out to watch the golf action. Let me show you some video from earlier this morning. The tournament was hosting a Pro-Am event here today, and there were players who were here warming up on the driving range. Among those that we saw included 1987 Masters champ Larry Mize. Russ Cochran was here this morning. Also, Brandel Chambly, who in addition to playing in several tournaments, spends most of his time working as an in-studio analyst for the NBC Golf Channel, which of course will broadcast the tournament this weekend. The Champions Tour is for those who are 50 years and older, but Chambly tells me that a lot of players are staying on the tour a lot longer now.
Every single player out here now looks and thinks, you know, if I stay in good shape, maybe I can keep playing this game at 60, 61, 62, because Bernhard Langer has certainly been able to do that and sort of stretch the longevity of what's possible on this tour.
And keep in mind that Bernhard Langer just turned 62 a few weeks ago, and he's on fire. He almost dominates this tour. 10 of the last 11 seasons, he's finished #1 on the money earnings list. Behind me here, the 17th tee, you can see there are grandstands set up there as well. And if you look off here, behind, off to what would be the left of the tee, is a family fan zone area where folks can gather and have a good time. So again, 17th is really the place to be for the fans and their families, and you know, to get a real up close and personal sense of what's happening out here at the Ally Challenge. Coming up tonight at 7:30, the 19th hole returns. We have a week of specials. Tonight we will take a look at what's new here at Warwick Hills, and also what you, the fan, need to know as you prepare to come out here and enjoy the action. Gina Trotman, myself, and Jonathan Deutsch will be bringing you that again. That's at 7:30 tonight right here on NBC 25. That's it from Warwick Hills for now. I'm live at Warwick Hills in Grand Blanc Township. Mike Woolfolk, NBC 25 News. Stephanie, back to you.
Looking forward to it, Mike. Well, it is time to check out our Chime In gallery, and we want to see it. If you're heading to Warwick Hills this week, share your pictures and videos in our Chime In gallery. We've got crews all over the course today. We will all week. And this picture, it comes from our chief photographer, Mike Horn, of the Pro-Am practice you just heard about today. You can submit your photos if you're heading over to the links too by going to our website or our mobile app. New details in the Flint water crisis investigation will be part of a nationwide broadcast tomorrow. The PBS special showing a whistleblower who warned workers at the Flint water plant that people could die. NBC 25's Joel Fike with that story next.